What's up guys, today I will be going over some very silly builds around the Heretic rocket launcher from Altar of Sorrow. And all of these builds revolve around the perk Demolitionist, which will allow me to reload the weapon from reserves every time I throw a grenade. Then it also has cluster bombs, as we went over yesterday if you watched that video. There's going to be a few different builds in this video. The first one will be with some bracers, which will allow me to throw pretty much infinite solar grenades. As you see, you get a melee kill, you get some bracers ready for 4 seconds, you throw a nade, and that starts some bracers, which allows you to throw 5 nades in that 3 seconds. Then if you pair this with the fact that the rocket launcher has Demolitionist, which will allow me to shoot, throw a grenade, and then shoot again without reloading, obviously you can see where this is going to be going. You can get a melee kill to proc some bracers, then pretty much have full auto on your rocket launcher as if Lunafaction and all those nerfs didn't even happen. So doing this combo, shooting off 5 rockets and throwing 4 nades in between the reload, it's only going to take roughly 6.433 seconds. And if you guys remember from yesterday's video, cluster bomb rockets and also impact casing hits for roughly 46,000 per rocket on Greg. And the damage of cluster bombs is a lot more consistent than it used to be, so 46,000 is a pretty consistent number. Now looking at the damage of solar grenades on Greg, it's going to take for a very long time hitting that 2043 number over and over again. I believe 27 times in total, then also the impact of the grenade. And if you add that all up, it's over 61,000 damage per solar grenade. But the thing to note about solar grenades and different AoE grenades in this game, the tick damage of the grenades do not stack. So if I throw 2 solar grenades at Greg, only the first one is doing the tick damage, and the second one only hits that impact number of 5,569. So each time I throw another solar grenade at him, it's only doing that impact damage, which means this entire combo with the rocket launcher and solar nades is 46,768 DPS, which is actually really good and very competitive with other things in the game. The second build I'm going to talk about is Starfire Protocol, where you put down your Empyrean Rift, then getting empowered weapon hits returns your grenade energy. So as you can imagine, this is pretty silly also. You can shoot your rocket, throw a grenade, shoot your rocket, throw a grenade. And with good cluster RNG, you should be able to do this combo forever until you run out of ammo. And now looking at how much fusion nades hit on Greg, they hit a little over 20,000, and that's going to be every single grenade, and they obviously stack. And as mentioned before, with good RNG, especially on a bigger target where you're going to be hitting more and more cluster bombs on them, you should be able to do this forever. Sometimes you gotta wait for the cluster to go off before you get grenade back, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. But if you're completely optimal with this build, it'd be 48,542 DPS, which is a little bit higher than the solar grenade build we had with some bracers. And the final build I want to show off in this video is with Armamentarium on Titan with magnetic grenades and also Oppressive Darkness. So when we throw that first grenade, it's also going to give us that 30% debuff. As you see, the magnetic grenades hit for 13,279 twice. So that's going to be roughly like 50,000 damage per your 2 grenades. And after that first grenade hits, your rockets will also be 30% more damage. And that'll make the average damage of each rocket shot roughly 59,800. So 30% more than that 46,000 average we had before. Now looking at this combo, we're only going to be able to shoot off 3 rockets. So it's going to be more of a burst damage type thing. That takes roughly 3.1 seconds. So looking at the DPS of that, the first rocket without the debuff, then the 2 grenades plus the 2 other rockets with debuffs is going to be 70,655 damage per second, which is actually very high. But you gotta keep in mind we could also throw that 30% debuff on the other combos we showed off if you had a teammate or something like that to do it for you. So the Titan build is really good burst damage if you're playing solo. That way you can get your own debuff going at the same time. But the 2 Warlock builds are things you can do by yourself, especially the Starfire Protocol one. You don't even need a red bar ad around or anything like that. You can just go straight up to a boss with nothing else around and be able to do that combo. So that one's actually really nice. And these combos are pretty silly, but they actually make this rocket launcher pretty much top tier. Around that 50,000 DPS mark with no debuffs is pretty much on par with grenade launchers in the game, then also Izanagi's Burden. The only downside of this rocket is it doesn't have that much ammo, which means its total damage output won't be that high. But at the same time, it's a legendary heavy weapon, so you can pair it with Izanagi's Burden or legendary sniper or something like that, and that will help you have way better sustained damage. And that's pretty much all I want to say about this video. It makes this rocket actually pretty top tier, and the perk Demolitionist isn't only good for ad clear, it actually turns this rocket into pretty much the best rocket launcher for damage in the game. Like, you could use the Starfire build on Riven, and you can pretty much do the old Riven cheese just as if Lunafactions never even got changed. So it'd be pretty interesting to see what bosses in the game work really well with cluster rockets and where you can take advantage of this. And yeah, so it's really nice to have another build in the game that is actually pretty top tier and kind of something that you wouldn't really think about. Anyways, let me know what you think about these silly builds yet very, very good builds. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.